Okay, so let's pull our supplies together to make our faux leather journal. I have a spray bottle with some coffee, twine, masking tape, our sponge brushes with paper plates, our glue, a brown and a black paint, pencil, ruler, scissors, the ink pad. I got this one in black. Now, I got the scraper from Dollar Tree, but feel free to use a key card or a gift card. A piercing tool, our composition book, brown paper bag. We have some wax paper and copier paper. I bought one of their plastic table covers, so if I get messy, I don't have to worry about what's underneath. Also, I'll be using 2 cookie sheets that I got from the Dollar Tree store too to make my coffee paper. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, but I thought I'd try it out to mix my paint on my paper with, so we'll see. Let's get started. One of the first things that I will do is make my coffee paper because it needs to dry while I'm working on the rest of my project. So as you see here, I have the copy paper in my cooking sheets. And now I'm going to make my coffee water. Put some water in the bottle. Okay. Open up the coffee. This is okay. Going to add some crystals. This is instant coffee, so that'll be up to you. And I'm going to shake that around. Okay, as you see, it's still a little light, so I'm going to add some more coffee crystals to it. Let's test it out on the paper. Changing the color. All right, let's do the next one. All right, I'm just going to put that aside to dry. Let's start working on our book. So here's the composition book that we're using. And the brown paper bag. So when I take a look at it, it pretty much will fit on there. So let me start taking the bag apart. And I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut this part off. Well, that's going to give me plenty of paper to work with this composition book. Let's go ahead and open it up. I'm a little particular. I like to find the seam and open it from there. Get that coffee out the way. That's more than enough to work with. So now what I'm going to do, if you got one of our packets from the studio, this is already done for you. But if you're using a brown paper bag that you got from the grocery store, this is what you'll need to do. So I just take my ruler and trace around the composition book. And we want to get 2 of those. Not looking for perfection. So I cut on the line. So now I have 2 pieces of paper, of the brown paper bag, and as you see, I have enough edge on there because the ruler gives me enough edge that I can turn it over on the book. Okay, so now we're ready to paint. And I'm going to cut out another little piece. Just for tabs and closures. All right. And I'll use this rest of it just to paint on. So let me move this out the way so it doesn't get messed up, because I have been known to get paint everywhere. All right. So what I'm going to do here, let me see. This is a washable paint that I got from the Dollar Tree in brown and black. So let me see what this brown looks like. All right, that looks brown. Now I like my brown to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to mix some black with it. I can get it to come out. Okay, I just mix that around. And then let's paint our brown paper bag. I might not have enough paint on there. Doesn't look like I do. You know what? Let me just pour it straight on the bag. As you see, my hands are going to start getting dirty. You can always wear gloves if you like. Okay, that's one done. Let me put that aside while I work on the next piece. Oop, I got too much there. Let's see. Just focus on getting the brown paper bag covered with brown paint. Okay, so I've got that one. All right, move that out the way. Okay, let me put that to dry. Now this one I want to add a little bit more dimension to. Let me get my little paper plate. And put some black paint in it. All right, Okay, so I want to try this just to see how it'll work. Okay, that's giving it a little bit of dimension. All right, I think that might work. So let me go ahead and finish up the others. Let me put some more paint on a plate. Have fun and play around, getting a look that you like. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm going to let that dry and we'll come back to the table after that's done drying and finish our project. So, okay, it looks like our papers are dry. You can sort of tell because they're curling on the edges. And our coffee paper is dry as well. So let's get rid of that paper. Let's get our composition book back out. Now in bookmaking, these are what we call the end sheets. They're going to go on the inside of our altered book like that. So right now what I'm going to do is cut this to size. So I'm going to put it up underneath, so line my edge up so I can reduce the amount of cutting. Make sure that's tucked in as close as I can inside the book, that edge. Tuck that in. Take my pencil. I think it's just going to be easier to move that out like that. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to trace around it. Okay. Put those two sheets together. I'm going to take this, crumple it up a little bit. Smooth it out to give it that worn sort of paper look. So I'm I'm going to come and bring my paintbrush and just lightly go over it so to dry. It has all that brown paint on it, but it's sort of dried up, and it's going to give me enough texture on my paper just to highlight those edges. Okay, there we go. I'll set that aside. Alright, let's take a look at this. I'm going to take this and do the same thing. Take it from the ends and just crumple it up. Take my paintbrush, do the same thing. And then this is where I'm going to use the ink pad, because that paintbrush, it gave it a little bit of color, but I could use some more. Take that ink pad and brush it over the edges lightly. I don't know if you can see, but see, it's starting to highlight those edges and sort of make it look like leather. Yummy. Then I'm going to crinkle it up a little bit more. Get some more edges. Take that ink pad, brush it on top. And I'm going to continue doing that with the other one. Take my ink pad and just brush it over the top. Highlight those crinkled areas. Okay, that's looking pretty good. The last sheet. Take my ink pad again, go over. Ooh, it's coming apart. Okay. All right, looks like I need to clean my hands. That's why it's good to keep on those microfiber cloths or some antibacterial wipes or paper towels, something just to keep your hands living so they're not too messy. All right, so this area on the spine, I think I'm going to put some masking tape on it. This masking tape I also got from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to pull enough to cover that strip. But I'm also going to take it and just make it a little less tacky. So the way you do that, just put it on your clothes. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use this leftover brown paper bag as my cleanup sheet to keep my book clear. Get me another sponge brush. Pour a little glue, and I want to get that glue all over. Enough. Take one of my sheets, butt it up to that edge, with the tape. All right, and then this way you take that scraper. All right. I just have to hold it in place for a minute until that glue takes. All right, I got a little edge where I got a little aggressive on putting that glue, crinkling it up. Make sure you have enough glue. You can always tell if you don't because it's not going to stick. All right. The heat here in Texas make everything sort of dry up real quickly. Let me put another thicker layer. There we go. Let's see if we have enough this time. All right. Yeah, that's sticking good now. Okay, let's put some more here. Use your scraper to help flatten that out on the book. Okay. So when you open your book, up. So I'm going to cut the excess off here. So I'm going to take my ruler, just come down the side, make a mark, come to the bottom, come down the side there, make a mark, and I'm going to cut off the extra. Okay, now from here we're going to turn everything over like this. So normally what I would do is I'll make a crease everything first. So fold it there, fold it there, and fold it there. Okay, so we're going to start here in the corner. I pull the glue down there. use your extra brown bag. Okay. And what I do is I go ahead and put some glue there. Now I'm going to turn this over, creating a triangle. Make sure that's real tight up against the edge of that corner. Okay, crease that down. I'm going to do the same for in this corner. Make sure that's nice and tight up against that edge. Okay, everything's looking good. Put some more glue here. And I let that glue come all the way over to the edge. There we go. And then we're going to turn that over. Okay. Let me work on the bottom. Okay, that's looking good. And I'm going to use my key card. Flatten that all down. More glue at the top. And it should look something like this. I'm going to go ahead and remove this masking tape. There we go. So I can make sure I adhere that down. That edge. There we go. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing to the back cover. All right, the front and the back cover is complete. So we've got that on there, and now let me clean up a little bit. Now this is where I'm going to get some wax paper. Okay, so here we are. That looks good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on it to seal it and give it that shiny leather look. Don't have to use a lot, just enough to coat it. I'm going to open it up. can get the other side as well. I'm going to let that dry. Okay, our book is dry to the touch, so I'm going to go ahead and add my button. Now this is a button that I just got off a jacket, but I'm going to use it here. So I'm going to poke a hole so I decide where I want that button to go, and then I'm going to poke a hole. Alright, I'm going to bring both of my flaps up, and where I made that first hole, I'm going to go through there and punch my hole for the other side. I'm going to take this twine, now here's the tricky part. I need to make that hole a little bit bigger. I just stick my tool in there and I work it until the hole gets a little bit bigger. Stick that twine through the button. And now I'm going to put some glue on the edge, just to keep it from fraying a little bit. And then twist it to make it get a little point. And then I should be able to get it through there. Alright. Open it up. I'll put a little masking tape. Keep that held down. And move it down a little bit more. There we go. All right. I'm going to come to the back. Let's see. I could do a closure, or put the string through, and then it could wrap around like that. I think that's what I'll do. Let me open up that hole a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is just sort of measure twice the length of the book, because I can always cut this off. I need to open that hole up a little bit more. Let's see if I can get that poked in there. I may have to use the tool to work that in. Yeah, I might have to make it a little bit bigger. Curved edges to the outside. I'm going to put that straight edge into the seam. think I glued down the wrong side, but that's okay. I'll just come back with the stamp. Okay, come back with the stamp pad, push it over. Now I think I used the paintbrush. Okay, yeah, that's what I did. I like with the stamp pad. That's something I'm gonna come back over here on the front and use the stamp pad on it as well. There we go, blend that all in. Okay, let that dry for a minute. All right, so we completed the first book, the faux leather book, and as you see, the Mod Podge gives it a nice sheen. Makes it look just like leather almost. And then on the inside, we have the coffee dyed papers on the end sheets. Have your closure. There we go. All right. I hope you had fun creating this project with us. See you for the next one. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.